Claims and concessions. First, let's start by making it clear that claims are a good thing. They speed up the play, but they can also cause confusion and some heated discussions. So, when should you claim and how should you do it? A claim, as defined by the law book, is any statement made by a declarer or a defender to the effect that a side will win a specific number of tricks. The law book also says that any claim should be accompanied at once by a clear statement of the line of play or defence, including the order in which the cards will be played. The person making the claim must face, expose their hand. The issues that arise with claims are caused by the fact that many times a clear statement is not made, causing the other side to question its validity. Let's look at some examples of what constitutes a good claim. Here, South is declarer in 4 hearts, and after 7 tricks they are on lead with these cards remaining. They face their hand and say, drawing the last trump and my ace and queen are the best diamonds, making the rest of the tricks. This is clear, and there would be no reason to question it. The result can be entered. Here, South is declarer in 3 no trumps, and after 8 tricks they are on lead with the above cards remaining. They face their hand and say, playing the king of hearts, and then my 7 of spades, over to dummy, which is good, discarding my clubs on the spades, making the rest of the tricks. The last sentence about discarding the clubs is not entirely necessary, but if you say it, then it makes it clear to West they are not winning a club trick. So there would be no reason to question it, and the result can be entered. In this example, South is declarer in 4 spades, and after 8 tricks they are on lead with the above cards remaining. They face their hand and say, playing a heart and roughing it, and then cross-ruffing to make the rest of the tricks. Again, this is a pretty clear statement and should be accepted. However, it may be necessary to reiterate the fact that you are roughing your 3 hearts in the dummy and your 2 diamonds in your hand if your opponent looks a bit dubious. Again, South is declarer in 4 spades, and after 8 tricks they are on lead. They face their hand and say, playing a heart, roughing and then cross-ruffing, and I'll give you the club at the end. This is a clear statement and should be accepted. Obviously, East is going to hold their queen of clubs, so you can make this claim and move on to the next board. In the event someone at the table is unsure about the validity of a claim, they should call the director. The first thing the director will do is ask the claimer to restate their line of play. They will then ask the opponent what the basis of their contest is. Often they don't have one, but they just didn't fully understand the statement. So the key is to make the statement clear and leave no room for ambiguity or questions. But there will be times when it is absolutely right to question the validity of a claim. Let's look at a couple of examples of not very good claims. Similar to the last hand, South is declarer in 4 spades, and after 8 tricks they are on lead. They face their hand and say, playing a heart and roughing and then cross-ruffing to make the rest of the tricks. It appears that South has forgotten about the 5 of spades being in East's hand. So in this case, the director would rule that East-West gets 1 trick, because East can win a trick with it. After roughing the heart and dummy and then diamond in hand, South may well rough either the heart or the club with the 4 of spades and dummy, which would be overtaken by East. There would be no other tricks East-West can make, so North-South will be awarded the result of making 4 more tricks. Even if there is a line of play to capture the 5 of spades, the fact that South hasn't mentioned it and there is a reasonable line of play that allows the 5 of spades to make a trick, means East-West will get that trick awarded to them. South is declarer in 3 no trumps, and after 9 tricks they are on lead. They face their hand and say, all mine, leading small spades, so 2 spades, best heart and best diamond. Let's say that from the bidding, South knows for sure that West holds the king of spades, and so they will capture it, making their claim technically correct. However, they have not made a good claim by saying nothing about it. Here, East-West can claim 2 tricks. It is possible that South would have gone up with the ace after West played low, and then played the queen thinking it was good, in which case West makes the king of spades and then the 9 of clubs. Had South said, I know that West has the king of spades and one other, so I am playing small and capturing it, whichever one they put up, and making 2 spades the best heart and the best diamond, then that would be fine. However, if the hand was like this, and South knew that East was void in spades, as they hadn't followed suit on the previous trick, the claim should be allowed, albeit with a reminder to South that they should be more precise with their statement. A law change in 2017 that many players don't seem to have caught up with is that if the claim is contested, as long as all 4 players agree, the hand can be played out. In such case, there is no unauthorized information to anyone, even if a player has faced their cards. So in summary, claiming is good and should be encouraged. However, make sure you are clear with your claim. Sometimes you can just say, all mine, if you are on lead and all you have in your hand are winners, or lead to dummy, which are all winners. But you are better to err on the side of overstating rather than understating, or mansplaining if you prefer. Similarly, you can concede some or all of the remaining tricks. You are probably likely to do this when you become aware that the opposition are not claiming, even though they should. Note, though, that your partner can contest your concession. If this happens, call the director. There are no penalty cards if any card has been exposed when conceding, but there is a possibility of unauthorized information. This is rare, however. If a concession is contested, it is immediately cancelled and the hand is played out. You also cannot concede a trick you couldn't have lost. If you concede and then realise, even after the hand is finished, that actually you were going to make a trick, call the director. If they agree that there was no line of play that prevented you making that trick, then they will adjust the score to what it should have been. Again, this is rare, but worth knowing in case you find yourself in this situation. People get very worked up about claims, and they shouldn't. If you don't agree with a claim, tell the opposition politely that you aren't sure and call the director. There are some players that, no matter how clearly you explain a claim, will still argue the point. If this happens to you, call the director. A director can penalise someone who does this habitually for no good reason. So while it may seem that claiming and occasionally conceding can cause issues, if it is done properly, it speeds up the game and should be encouraged.